Molweni, dumelang, kgotsong, sawubona, ndavote, goeiedag, greetings. Namhlanje lusuku uThixo ahlwenzidleyo. Utata Nelson Mandela. He said this, one of the most difficult things is not to change society, but to change yourself and how you relate to those closest to you. Now, why are you guys hating on Nelson Mandela so much? Some of you are so stuck in the past. Your present must be such a nightmare if you're stuck in the past. How do you cope? With a lot of the comments, I realize that many of you are not coping. But you've got a victim mentality. And some of you may be surviving. But how about contributing? We can't just be victims. We can't just survive in South Africa. We've got to start contributing. That same God that my ancestors prayed to is the same God that gave Jesus Christ to us 2,000 years ago. The same Jesus that died on the cross and was resurrected rose again to save us from our sins. In South Africa, what happens if the taxi driver that I'm getting upset with is a newborn Christian, as I am? Or he believes in the same God or the same Jesus that I do? Where does my vitriol come from? Where does my anger and my emotion against this other person come from? Guys and people, I want you to understand that many of our colleagues and our fellow South Africans that are in the taxis are people who are trying to get to work. And many of us privileged white oaks moan at the people that work for us if they're late because of transport. Now what, must I blame the government? I'm not saying these guys are right. And I'm not saying that we must just accept the lawlessness that's running around in our country. Our responsibility for lawlessness is to respect government and pray against the lawlessness. Pray for peace instead of against a person. It's time that we stop with this violence in our minds, this hanging on to the past and looking to the future. We have to do it. South Africa is not for sissies. Be encouraged today. Look to the Lord while you're driving through the potholes.